Oh, I'm glad I wore a Caesar.
No, it's Liza. Liza. Lovely, I've got it right. How about it? Liza.
He looks straight in front of you, Liza. One more Liza this way.
And this way, darling.
You just sit on the mountain.
It's the kind of film that I was just so pleased to be in. I think that Fosse found a new way of making a musical film. You know, it wasn't like anything else in particular. There was music in it, but nobody burst into song, you know, in a bus or anything like that. The music was all justified, and it was kind of like a document, a stylized documentary of the times with music. I just thought he did it so well.
Did you think it was decadent?
Oh, yes.
Now, Liza Minnelli, I counted today at the press reception something like 60 photographers and 50 journalists. So you really got star treatment in London. Do you enjoy that?
Bob? It's Liza. Happens constantly.
I was wondering, you see, whether I dare ask you, can we sort it out once and for all, how you like your name pronounced?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Liza.
Liza.
With a Z.
Right. Liza.
Yes, sir.
There were something like 60 photographers and 50 journalists here today, and you've got star treatment. Do you enjoy that? Do you like that?
It makes you feel like when you were little and you pretended to be a princess. There's something lovely about it. There's also something temporary about it. You know, in other words, I know that I can whip on the fox, whip on the eyelashes, whip over to the Dorchester, do that, and go home and put my jeans on again.
Yes.
You know, because I think that if you get to rely on that kind of treatment, or if you depend on it, you'll ultimately be disappointed and a bit heartsick.
What about the pressure? I mean, one of the things, you have loss of privacy, don't you? I mean, people asking all sorts of personal questions. Do you just think, well, that goes with the game?
I think, you know, it doesn't affect me as much as it might somebody else, because I've never known privacy. And I mean, when I was born, somebody took a picture and put it in the paper. You know, it was one of those things. So I really don't have any area of comparison. So it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah. Because
and
I mean,
I find that I do have a great deal of privacy by just not pretending to be somebody else.
could we clear up something else? Because it's said that show business is in the very marrow of your bones, and that your first walk-on part was in a film at the age of 2.5, and your first stage appearance was 7. Is that right? Age of 7?
Yeah, well, they needed a kid right at the end of this movie, and I was a terrific-looking kid.
I believe you.
Ah! It was beautiful.
Mm.
What happened? No, I was a terrific-looking little girl, and Mama said, well, let's use Liza, you know, we'll just... So there I was. And then at 7, I was always dancing, you know. So she called me out on the stage, because I was sitting backstage watching, and I kind of did kicks and kidded around. So it wasn't really like being thrust onto the stage.
Yes. You just said just then that I was a very beautiful child. What happened? I mean, you have said sometimes that my appearance, my looks, really give me a headache sometimes. They really upset me. You don't really mean that, do you?
No, not really. But I think it's funny to talk about. I mean, let's face it.
Mm. How would you describe your face?
Unusual.
Yeah.
You know, and that it is. But that's what God gave me, you know.
Mm.
And other people seem to like it, so you know, some people at least.
Yeah. Now, the film Cabaret, in this country anyway, this established you very much as a person in your own right, as opposed to Judy Garland's daughter. Do you think it was important in that way?
Yes, but see, I never mind. I'm very proud of my mom, you know. And being people, it sounds so ominous when somebody says, people used to call you Judy Garland's daughter. It sounds like the son of Dracula. What are they talking about? My mother was a genius. The only thing that ever gets me upset or annoyed or even uptight is when I'm put in the position of defending her, because I feel she needs no defense.
Sure.
You know, she
But does that
gave
happen?
so much to the world.
Yes. Does that happen? Are you put in that?
Oh, yeah. It used to happen a lot. Now it hardly ever happens.
What is star quality? It would be very nice to hear you.
Star quality.
Do you believe in it? Can you define it? Can you tell us what you think star quality is? Because people say you've got it.
Presence, I guess. There are very many people who aren't even in show business who have star quality. You know, the kind of person that enters a room and they're there. There's something, you know, about them.
Yes. I mean, if one was to put you in a chorus of 30 people on a stage, I think everyone's eye would go to you.
You're
Is it?
prejudiced, Bob.
But that's what it's about, I suppose.
I guess so. Yeah,
Yes.
I think you're right.